Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We have got a match that I'm very excited to cast here today. It is on Eternal Empire. And we've got two very good players. In the top right-hand side, we've got the young gun, up and coming, the legend himself, who made the MaxPax build. It's MaxPax. This guy has been coming into the StarCraft 2 scene hot and fast. He was kind of just first exposed when Beastie Cutie kind of did that video on his build that was crushing Terrans for quite a while, and he's actually going to be doing it right now, by the way. MaxPax is doing the MaxPax. This is all I wanted to see. Yeah, the MaxPax build, very lethal. I'll talk more about MaxPax in a second because I gotta introduce his opponent. He's kind of an old boy in the StarCraft 2 scene at this point. It's MarineLorD, the on and off again, seemingly, pro-Terran player. He was one of the early heroes of Legacy of the Void for the Terran race, playing really darn well. Back when he'd battle Nurchio and Showtime and those guys in the finals regularly. Before Neeb came in with his string of dominance. Before Serral came in with his string of dominance. And kind of just locked guys like MarineLorD out. But MarineLorD, he's back. He's playing quite a bit. He's always a very good Terran, very good fundamentals. Really confident player, it seems. And so I thought, all right, I gotta cast him, but we'll see how he's gonna do against the MaxPax. Fortunately for him, he's SCV scouting, but unfortunately for him, he's actually getting his gas stolen. There's a probe running circles in his base, and MarineLorD has started his command center on the high ground, so he's sniffed out the MaxPax that's coming his way, which is very, very important for him. Otherwise, you can just die against this, but nonetheless, there is a Zealot out on the map, which could potentially be coming his way. We see MaxPax, we see MaxPax, he's having fun stealing the gas of MarineLorD, so the Reaper is just basically right-click onto that gas. And so that's actually a very, very good thing for the Protoss player, the fact that the Reaper's not out on the map at all. This reactor has to be built into the wall due to the spawn positions, which makes me wonder if this is why MaxPax chose to do this build. Yeah, these Zealots are going to come in, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to kill this reactor because you can't repair building reactors. The grenade tries to buy a bit of time, but the Zealots aren't really lifted up at all, and this is one of the biggest pains of playing Terran. It's having your add-on be killed, you not being able to repair it. And oh, does the bunker get up? Yes, the bunker gets up, which is very important. But still, that is such a pain for the Terran player. You can't repair add-ons while they're building. And just due to the spawn position, it was a vulnerable place. And MaxPax, he seemingly knew that, and he's planned his build accordingly. A Stalker gets recalled now to deal with this Reaper. And boy, oh boy, do I ever love this. As, yeah, this is just MaxPax doing the MaxPax build. I try and do this build. I sometimes have a little bit of a hard time with it because I find that the Reaper will come across the map and my timing isn't as good, so I might even go back and really study this replay. But yeah, very, very good good play by MaxPax. He does lose the one probe, which is acceptable. Behind this, though, he's forced MarineLorD to stay trapped on one base for a while. MarineLorD also hasn't had a chance to kill this gas because of the pressure of MaxPax. The Reaper did make it into the main base, and it killed an extra probe, so MaxPax lost 2 probes in all. And the Reaper did actually get the scout on the Stargate, which is actually really nice. However, if we do take a look, it's just not very good for MarineLorD. He got pressured quite a bit. He's now just taking this natural base. He's going to want to throw up a bunker at his natural, but ultimately this actually wasn't that bad of a response. He's got a ton of SCVs that he built that he's ready to transfer. And let's take a look now. Cyclone locks onto a Stalker. Stalker trying to run away. The lock-on is broken. There's 3 Stalkers for MaxPax, which is quite a number. And there's actually a Phoenix here, which is going to allow him to lift up the Cyclone. And this is going to put MarineLorD into quite a bit of trouble. Losing the Cyclone means that these Stalkers can basically just micro against these Marines indefinitely till there's something else to help out. And since MarineLorD invested in this 3rd CC, there's really not a lot coming down the pipe right now. He did just throw up this bunker to hold on, but man, what a quick start to this game, MarineLorD versus MaxPax. I didn't expect it to heat up this quickly. I was excited to talk about the players. There's sort of a accomplishments, their accolades. And yeah, these players just showing us how hot and fast they are, as MaxPax really pressure in MarineLorD, and he's going to be coming on in. However, the bunker is done. There is a Viking to help out, deal some damage on the Phoenix. That Viking may very well land, but it'll probably just get lifted up. The force for MaxPax, though, isn't enough to actually break this bunker, so he will end up getting repelled. The Phoenix do kill the Viking, however, which is really quite nice. And MaxPax is still keeping the pressure on MarineLorD. He's not at a super high probe count. He doesn't really have any tech on the way. And as he just throws up his Twilight Council, just staying on 2 bases, whereas MarineLorD's done up his 3rd. So MaxPax does really want to get something done here, and he is going to try a ton of Zealots moving forward. Phoenix lift up the Cyclone, remove that from the equation, which is quite nice. The Zealots slicing away in this bunker, but with SCVs repairing it, it really shouldn't fall. And so this attack for MaxPax does seem destined to fail. MarineLorD is actually having himself a very, very good hold right now, shutting down that attack up on workers against the Protoss. As long as he continues to take this seriously, he should have a clean win in the bag, really. MaxPax is just rallying out Phoenix. He's making gateway units that don't have any upgrades. And he just throws up charge in a 3rd Nexus. But if we take a look at MarineLorD's 3rd's timing, it's incredible. If we take a look at MaxPax's timing, not so much. He invested a lot into this attack that he didn't get done. Now, one thing that I will say, though, is MarineLorD feels like he may want to give MaxPax an honest-to-God fighting chance in this game, as he's going to be meching. And I will say, if this was a bio game, I'd give MarineLorD a 90% chance to win this if he was following this up with bio. The fact that he's following it up with mech, I'd say he's got like a 60% chance to win this game. Because I really, really don't like mech against Protoss players. In my opinion, and I think this rings true, I will say this, that if a Terran player can beat a Protoss with mech, then he can beat the Protoss with bio. Because he's probably better than the Protoss in the first place. It's kind of like putting yourself at a handicap, playing mech against Protoss. And I really don't like this choice from MarineLorD, because mech is not as good at punishing, or not as good at closing games out as bio is. And at the same time, MaxPax has got Phoenix, which are rather good against mech units. They can lift up Cyclones. They're very mobile. Like, look at this. They can just come on in, maybe lift up this SCV. They'll do that. MaxPax is now moving in with charge lots, and there's just not that much for the Terran player, so he's definitely going to take some losses to these Zealots. Widowmine's going off, but the 3rd base is really being ransacked. Phoenix lift up this Cyclone. Marines and SCVs, without any upgrades, are not going to be able to shut down these Zealots easily. There's quite a few Marines and Cyclones, but look at this. MarineLorD, he just lost 13, 14 SCVs. Widowmines are getting lifted up, and MaxPax is just going to rally in more and more Zealots, happily killing off SCVs amidst this. Viking gets killed off by the Phoenix. The Phoenix got some pretty good trades. Most of them get out of there, and all of a sudden, MarineLorD, he just lost 20 SCVs. He's still at equal worker counts with the Protoss, which is really impressive, all things considered. He's kept very constant production on that, but in comes more Zealots, and MarineLorD's just got this ragtag group of units that have got to try and deal with this. The Phoenix come in, they lift up the Cyclones, break their lock on, is lifting up all the Cyclones, and the Zealots are going to kill more and more SCVs. And I don't know if it was MarineLorD being 2 Zealots taking his 3rd base, the fact that he was making Cyclones, didn't have any tanks, didn't have like any upgrades for his bio coming. Because look at this, MaxPax, just off of his 6 gateways, is just sending in 6 Zealots at a time. The Phoenix are lifting up the Cyclones. And yeah, this is looking really, really good for MaxPax, getting some damage done. More so than I'd say he really had any right to do in his position with such an odd attack. Maybe MarineLorD should have thrown up a bunker, not taken the base so quickly. Ultimately, I'm going to say it's just because he's been putting money into Cyclones, which are not great units against Protoss. Now MaxPax, he's going to go for the Dark Shrine behind this, which I love. He's chrono boosting out his 1/1 upgrades, which is really good to see. He's going to have an upgrade lead in this game, as MarineLorD's armory is just on the way. One thing I'd really like to be seen from MaxPax is Blink. He's getting up the 4th base, which I really do like to see. I'm not sure he's going to have success with any more of these Zealot attacks, since MarineLorD does have a very good Widowmine count now. But MaxPax very well may try, as he's still not in the best position. He got more damage done than I thought he would do, but still not in the greatest position. Zealot's going to be running away from MarineLorD, and we see more Zealots actually going to go on in. They might actually just target down this command center, which is pretty sick. Some of the Zealots are going to get locked on and killed. MarineLorD's probably also going to push out and shut down this pylon, which will shut down this string of aggression from the Protoss player. MaxPax, though, he's just gonna keep making more and more Zealots because he can. So I really like MaxPax's play, whereas MarineLorD, I don't like mech whatsoever. And that's something I'm completely fine saying because I've watched pro players try and mech for years against Protoss at the highest level. I've tried to mech myself against Protoss, and it's just not effective. It's just not a good unit composition until there's some major breakthrough in the meta or whatever. MaxPax going for the DT Blink. I was expecting more Stalker Blink, as the Stalkers are good at getting on top of those Protoss or those mobile Terran units. However, DT Blink, that's definitely styling too. As MaxPax, he's got a Prism out. He can drop those DTs. He can blink them all around. Force scans out of MarineLorD. In comes the Terran player. He's going to have his units be sandwiched. MaxPax just relying on Phoenix Zealots is a little bit odd against this composition, and there is enough Cyclones and Hellions for MarineLorD to actually just lock on top of these and pretty much kill them all off. So the Zealot's really not doing well for MaxPax, so his Prism is really going to have to get something done. There was a few Blink DTs warped in that are going to start turning into Archons. However, not any damage getting done. So MaxPax just trying to defend against this composition with the Zealots. I understand the idea with the Phoenix, but unfortunately he lost too many Phoenix this game to have a high enough count. And I'd honestly have preferred the Blink Stalkers against this. As the Blink Stalkers just being able to get on top of the Cyclones is really quite nice. We see a Disruptor now on the way for MaxPax, and he is at a deficit this game. In goes the Prism. There is a Cyclone which will lock onto it. That's very unfortunate. A big warp in for MaxPax gets canceled, and since he's not out on the map, all he's got to do is try and deal with this attack, and he gets a very good Disruptor shot down on those Widow Mines, removing them from the equation. But without Blink Stalkers, it's so hard to engage Cyclones, which will just lock on and retreat endlessly. Like, the Zealots are quick, but they're not quick enough. They need that Blink, and so I really would have liked to see Blink from MaxPax. Maybe I'm mistaken as far as the way for Protoss to deal with mech really isn't written out. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but I do think that Blink Stalkers against Cyclones is a good option. MaxPax tries to throw up a fourth base. That's going to get found and shut down immediately, so he's not in a great economic position, as MarineLorD has got himself a fourth base landing now, with lots of Widow Mines set up to defend it, which definitely killed off some units there. And MarineLorD is losing a ton of SCVs as this goes on, but he will clean up this attack. 18 SCVs to the Blink DTs in all, which is not a small number. And there's more hanging out, which very well may go in to try and get more damage done in the future. But it looks like it is enough to maybe make MarineLorD hold on, maybe make him pause for a second. As MaxPax, he's going to try and get up this Nexus. He's got quite a bit of money. I still don't like the fact that MaxPax hasn't been trying to reach any other upgrades. There we go. Now he starts his 2-2. But I'd really like to see Blink on the Stalkers or something like that, instead of trying to rely on the Mass Zealot like he's doing. I know that Stalkers aren't the best once there's a ton of Widow Mines and such, but I don't think Zealots are any better. So MaxPax, he's kind of unsure of what to do. He's got the Disruptors, which can zone this army back temporarily, but MarineLorD's coming in with all these Cyclones, all these Hellions, going to be shutting down this fourth base most likely. There is DTs going in for counterattacks once again. MarineLorD didn't leave any units here to defend this. Actually, he's got a few out, but DT's in the main giving his opponent grief. We see the fourth base was canceled. There's just not much going on for MaxPax. He's got 1,500 minerals, not much gas to make anything else. He's making a ton of Disruptors. MarineLorD, though, was planning on adding Liberators into this composition at one point, I believe. And it's just not a great spot. MarineLorD's economy has fallen quite a bit, and MaxPax does know he can zone back this army basically indefinitely with the Disruptors, but he's still not able to get up this fourth base that he wants. I love MarineLorD planning the Widow Mine at this fourth, just that's such a pain for the Protoss to deal with. It's going to take a Disruptor Nova to clean that up. Probe gone. There's the Nova to kill the Widow Mine, but it's already done its job. Slow down that base a little bit further, allow MarineLorD further control of this game. MarineLorD's building up his SCV count, and now he's going to add in siege tanks, which will be the different composition that Terran needs to deal with all these Protoss units. As Disruptors do get beaten out by siege tanks generally, because the tanks don't require as much control. Disruptor Nova goes on out. MaxPax is just going to have to keep throwing these out pretty much endlessly, and that's a lot of effort for the Protoss player to go to, but he's not been able to establish a fourth base just yet. He's tried this location. It's been shut down multiple times, the north location. Now he's trying this location to try and make it happen. And MaxPax, he's just been pressured so long. That being said, I will never underestimate Terran's ability to throw a game when playing mech. So we'll see if there's a chance for MaxPax. I'm not going to say it's super high, but I'll say there's a chance. Disruptors, tossing out their Novas. We see a command center on the way for MarineLorD. He's going to have a very good economy now as he's almost maxed out. He can start investing in the silly units like make BCs, things like that against Protoss, or just get up a ton of production and spam Widow Mines, really whatever he wants. MarineLorD is in a very good spot. That being said, MaxPax's own supply has been going up and up. He's been at a very steady and not very quick increase, but it's been fast enough. And oh my gosh, we're actually going to be heading into a bit of a base trade right now. DT's getting warped in to help with this, but yeah, MarineLorD just sends all of his units across the map, while MaxPax with a massive DT Zealot counterattack is going to take out MarineLorD's 4th base and just come home to try and deal with this attack. Disruptors hitting the siege tanks. The Phoenix need to lift up these tanks. And oh man, MaxPax taking really big siege tank shots, not taking the best engagement. The Phoenix not helping out at all. There's still the disruptors here for MaxPax, so he can get some very big connections. The tanks, though, we're giving him a lot of grief. These Zealots and DTs are hitting the 3rd base of MarineLorD, but a lot of these units not in the fight. Now they're going to join, and so MarineLorD is taking an equal amount of damage on his side of the map. MaxPax, all of a sudden, is just adding a ton of craziness to this game. The Terran player's economy took a big hit. Of course, it's still alive. He's got 3 orbitals. MaxPax did secure up this base at the 4th base location, so he can get his economy back on track in theory. But MarineLorD's still in a very commanding position. He's kept most of his Cyclones and Hellions alive, which is not an easy thing to do for the Terran, because those units are very good at dying. We see MarineLorD still having to really fear the DTs. Doesn't have many scans, so this DT could potentially move into the 3rd base once again. MaxPax has transferred workers now to this location, and this base right here is absolutely everything for MaxPax. MarineLorD doesn't know that it's there, but... oh, pardon me, correction, he actually does know that it's there. So he must be thinking that taking this base is absolutely everything for him. MaxPax is going to have to make a miracle hold happen. He's got 13 Zealots, 2 Archons, and 7 Disruptors. Those are going to have to be some good Disruptor hits, as the Zealot count just got whittled down. The DTs can potentially be used just to try and force scans out of the Terran. MarineLorD does only have 3 orbitals, which is not an infinite amount of scans. The DTs will now move in towards this 3rd base location. They're going to require a response from MarineLorD. Disruptors on the ramp can toss down their Novas, prevent the encroachment to the Terran as long as possible. These DTs are going to be getting engaged by a siege tank. And MaxPax micros these, though. He can just blink on top of the tank. And there we have it. MaxPax keeping the damage going down on MarineLorD. He's just trying to buy as much time as he can, as time is on his side right now, since he has been so relentless with these counterattacks. DT is killing off the missile turrets to remove that detection, and the base management back at home for MarineLorD is just chaos, and he can't push in. It looks like he's gonna try. MarineLorD moving up the ramp, MaxPax tossing out Disruptor Novas, Zealots moving on in. There needs to be some really good connections, and oh, I don't know, it looks like MaxPax might be losing what little buffer he has for these Disruptors, and the Disruptors themselves will not cut it. It's such a close attack. MarineLorD has enough. He gets fed up. He goes up the ramp. MaxPax almost able to make the comeback happen this game. It's not done just yet, as he does still have the ability to warp in DTs, and MarineLorD's base is in a state of disarray, so a DT warp-in could help clean this up. And MaxPax has actually elected to do that. This could go into like full-on base trade territory. It's all about the scan availability for MarineLorD right now. MaxPax's economy is basically nothing at this point, and he can't even mine the gas that he needs from this base, since he never got up any geysers at his natural, which is quite odd. But look at this. DT's giving so much grief to MarineLorD. He scans to try and get that DT. The blink is used, though. There is enough energy for a scan or two to get those guaranteed kills on the DTs, and all I'd say right now is that MarineLorD needs to build himself a darn Raven. That's what we need to see from MarineLorD. You gotta give it to MaxPax for really trying, but he just doesn't have much. What a nail-biter of a game, but the Terran with the 3 orbitals will prevail here, as the orbitals are just too good. The abilities to scan and everything. DT blinks, tries to escape, looks like it does. But yeah, there's too much of a Terran army right here. MaxPax cannot make an attack happen. He doesn't have an economy at all. He's long distance mining at yeah, with the siege tank shots. He probably knows that it's over at this point. Too many units for MarineLorD. Man, MaxPax, what a fighter this game, but in the end, MarineLorD does win it. And that game was close. It was messy. It was scrappy for MarineLorD. He was able to close it out in the end, as he did have a definitive lead from the start. But man, he really had to work for that, and he almost lost it. And that is exactly why I say don't mech. You're way less likely to have scary situations like this if you just try and close a game out with bio. And I fully believe that's the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I ever set a like goal for this video. So go ahead and slap that like button. Let's try and hit, let's go for 75 likes. Yeah, and let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm completely wrong about thinking that mech is trash for Terran. But, yeah. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. We're trying to hit 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Join the Discord, it's linked down below. We talk pro games. You can join the Discord and tell me why I'm wrong about mech. And consider becoming a member if you do want to support the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.